Hi Soupy.
Hi Mummy Bear.
How are you?
I'm really happy. We've been away and we've come back, and I've been talking about how I was really worried to go see the veg garden and what it was going to be like having come back.
Can I just set the scene? We
Yeah.
got back really late at night after a very, very long drive.
Really long drive. It was midnight.
Yeah.
We got back.
And the first thing Sweet Pea did when she got in the house was grab the torch and go out to the veg garden.
Yes, and it was pitch dark, and I went out there because I just had to. I wouldn't have been able to sleep whatsoever. I would have been kind of like all fidgety, wanting to go outside. And so anyways, I went out with my torch.
Did you see any slugs out there?
I didn't see any slugs.
Oh, good.
It was really nice,
Too
actually.
dry.
Yeah, far too dry. And I went out, and the squash had gone completely mental.
Gone crazy.
They had just gone everywhere, all
Yeah.
over the place. So I had to kind of untangle them and put them up the supports. And then the courgette plants were huge.
Oh, we're very excited about this.
Very excited about this because we've been having our dilemma of no courgettes. People have had loads of courgettes. Quite early on, we haven't had any. And so I was just
last
really
year we
sad.
had zero practically. I think 3 in the whole season of 10 plants.
Yeah.
This year we thought, nothing's coming again. What are we doing wrong?
Yeah,
We
exactly.
go away for 2 weeks.
Come back. I've
There
got
they are.
green courgettes growing left, right and centre.
Out your ears.
And then the most humongous, I don't know where this came from, most humongous patty pan.
Yeah.
This beautiful kind of silky, creamy skin to it.
It's so beautiful.
It's kind of a milky colour. It's really the most stunning.
You could have entered one of those veggie competitions that Jamie Butterworth used to do.
Oh my gosh, yes, I could have.
Mm.
And I
would
was
have won a
just
prize
so-
for that. It was stunning.
Yeah, it was stunning.
And it was really heavy as well, wasn't it?
So heavy. You know, when you're cutting things, you've got to kind of really support what you're cutting so it doesn't kind of rip the cut open. I was finding it really hard to support said patty pan
Whilst you cut off the stem.
cutting it off because it was so heavy. So I was so pleased to have that.
And I was so pleased because then yesterday you decided to make lunch using said patty pan and you stuffed it and baked it.
Yes.
And it was so delicious.
Yeah.
We've still got half left because it was that enormous.
It was that big.
So we'll be having that today and I can't wait.
Yeah.
And it was such clean food. It was the patty pan, you put in some tomatoes, onions, garlic, capers, feta cheese.
Feta really good because it gives that kind of Mediterranean salty vibe.
And then the stuffing of the patty pan.
Yeah.
What else went in? Chickpeas.
No, I didn't put chickpeas in. To be honest, the mix was so big that I only just had enough to put that in.
Yeah.
But I kind of carved out I kind of cut a lid and carved out the centre, which was a bit like a pumpkin. You got the kind of pith and the seeds and stuff. So that went on the compost. But then you got to the really creamy courgette-y stuff, which I then scraped out and put in the frying pan to fry up a bit before I then baked the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the whole mix together was actually amazing. And of course,
Did you
thyme,
drizzle
sage going
oil
there.
over it?
No, I didn't.
So just straight in like that.
Just straight
Thyme
in.
and sage.
Yeah, and no salt, extra salt needed.
Oh gosh, it was so good. Thank you for that.
It is amazing. I would like we should put it on the Instagram because it is a beautiful.
I'll put some photos on.
Yeah, yummy recipe
so
as well.
Can be remembered forever.
Exactly.
Sweet peas patty pan. Have we got any more coming?
We've got a little baby one.
Great.
It's about the size of a kind of a tennis ball.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Are we going to wait for that to get big as well?
Oh yes, because
so do the same.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm going to try out some different recipes with the smaller ones, with the bigger ones.
They're nice, the small ones. I remember last year sliced those and fried them.
Yes.
Really tasty. A very sweet flavour.
Quite steaky like. If you think about it. Yeah, really nice. And then really pleased to say that I've got really beautiful marsh too coming up from the seeds that I harvested last year, which were looking slightly rotten and mouldy on the windowsill because I wasn't
can't
looking
believe
after them.
they've done anything.
And they did really, really well. I've got some purple peas, which are beautiful. Then the purple beans are coming up. Oh, and the tomatoes are going
We're
for
doing
it.
well.
They're amazing plants, aren't they?
And the lettuce.
And the
loads of lettuce.
Really, really good lettuce.
Yeah.
So all in all, and also I've got proper corn cobs coming at the moment, and thousands of them on my corn plants, which I'm really looking forward to see how multicoloured they're going to be in the end. So that is going to be
the rainbow
beautiful.
ones. And you got some chilies.
And chilies.
And some aubergines and some cucumbers.
not cucumbers, but some melons.
Right.
Got some melons coming, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Never grown melons before.
No.
So all in all, I'm very,
fantastic.
very, very happy.
Oh, well done. Yeah. You've been working hard on our veg plot.
Yeah, and I am planning on taking a huge basket with me to uni of kind of fresh produce from the garden.
Yes, so that's really what we've been working on this summer, is getting you set up with uni, getting you set up with an apartment.
Yeah.
Lots of challenges that have occurred, and we'll probably talk about those over the coming weeks. But very exciting times. Also slightly scary times for both of us, because it does mean that in 2 weeks' time, we will no longer be living together. We will still be doing this podcast.
We will.
But we will be doing it separately. Hopefully we'll get you set up on Wi-Fi in your apartment in time.
Hopefully, that would be nice.
But it's going to be it's quite a step change for both of us. It's your first time not being at home.
Yeah, it's quite weird for me, because also I am someone who really enjoys being at home.
Yeah. You're a homebird, aren't you?
This home that we have, it's my safe space, it's my happy place. I just love it, and I love being with you, and I love being with Hobbs.
Hobbsy.
And I'm not someone who's like just trying to get out of the house or whatever because the parents are being really annoying or whatever.
The parents are still annoying.
The parents slightly annoying, but I still just really enjoy being at home, and I feel like the longest I've ever been away from you is like 2-3 weeks maybe.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
And the 3 weeks I was really struggling.
You were
by
really homesick, weren't you?
Very homesick.
So it's going to be an interesting time. It's also an exciting time.
Yeah.
We both have to think of all the positives.
Yeah.
And it is a rite of passage. It's the next stage, Sweet Pea.
It is the next stage.
And it's everything you've been building up to.
Yeah.
Is this point where you step away from the family home.
Yeah, exactly.
And go it alone.
Yeah.
But we'll take each challenge as it comes. It's all going to be all right.
Yep.
Now then, we have some housekeeping from last week.
Mm-hmm. Do tell.
You were going to find out what that black scabious was that you saw at Great Dixon.
Yes. Really, really pretty. So it's this really dark, I mean, it's practically black. It's just a really dark, deep red.
Mm.
And then it's got these beautiful kind of white, creamy speckles all over it of the stamens. I think it's the stamens, the anthers, which give that white kind of speckledy look on top. We'll show a photo of that as well because it's very, very pretty.
Did you get a good photo?
Yeah, got a gorgeous photo of it.
I still need to put all our photos of Great Dixter and
yes,
Sony House Gardens on the Instagram. I will get round to that.
Okie dokes, great. And yeah, so I got a gorgeous photo of it. I did Google image it just to try and figure out what it was. And I'm in between. I would say I'm leaning more towards it being black knight. Knight as in knight. Knight in suit of armour. Knight. I would say it's more like that one. Maybe black cat is another variety. But I'd say it's more like black knight. I'd love to know if I am correct.
Yeah.
But if you look that up, you will see it's pretty much identical to the one I saw.
Great.
So yes, I hope it's that one.
Good. Okay, well, some nature news.
Great, yes.
This week. There's a company, another innovative Dutch company, who have created shipping pallets made out of coconut husks. Yeah,
that is awesome.
And as well as them being made out of coconut husks, they also are a slightly different design. So you know how pallets currently, wooden pallets, you can't, if you stack them, you're basically placing one on top of the other. You can't intertwine them.
Yes,
I know. Nest them.
Yeah, there's not really any kind of slotting in.
No.
Yeah.
So they take up as much space as they would full or empty.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, these ones, they can save 70% more on storage space because they are slightly different. So they're more interlinking. They have a nesting capability like a shopping trolley. They all link in together. So they're saving a lot more space.
Great.
This Dutch company is called Cocoa Pallets, and they're using coconut husks that would otherwise just be thrown away or burnt. So they're solving that problem of what to do with all the coconut husks.
How many coconut husks are they getting?
Well, you only need, surprisingly, 60 to 70 husks.
I love that you only need 60 to 70.
I don't think that's a lot to make one pallet. When you think of the millions of coconuts that are out there and all the husks.
For some reason, I never think of coconut as something really abundant.
Don't you?
I don't know why. For me, it's quite slightly rare. I don't know why.
It's because of where you live.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
There aren't many in the UK, but
yeah,
if you think around the world, all the sort of more tropical places, and they survive very well.
They're just a weed.
They can
almost.
do well. Yeah, they are like a weed. They can do without much water. They can be in quite difficult environmental conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
So 60 to 70 are used per pallet, and their primary target is the Asian export market, where more than 1.7 million wooden pallets are used annually.
Really?
Causing millions of trees to be felled as a result.
Oh my gosh, that would be really, really good.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It would be fantastic.
They're dealing with the waste issue, and solving other problems as well.
Yeah.
And apparently, when they're pressed together, you don't need to use any glue or nails. So, because when coconut husk is pressed, it produces its own natural binding substances.
Oh yeah.
So, there really is.
Gosh.
There's nothing else is needed to be added to it. It's really quite incredible. It's a very different looking thing to a normal wooden pallet.
I can imagine.
I'll show you what it looks like, but it has the same sort of strength. It's obviously better for the environment.
Can you compost it more easily?
Well, this is my question, because I wondered, how I'm one day going to create my pallet compost bins.
The most beautiful compost heap ever.
But if I were to use these coconut husk ones, are they just going to immediately go
blur?
Blur.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
But very interesting. I love these new innovative ideas, finding better ways of doing something. And pallets is a great thing to target, because they're just gazillions of them around the world.
And huge amounts. And also, when you are trying to, for example, create a compost heap, and you're trying to be as organic as possible, we found it really hard to make sure you really do get the correct pallet with the non-treated stuff. I cannot remember what it is that you're meant to read on the kind of pallet.
You get these different codes on the side.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the treatment of coconut pallets.
No.
So that would be something to look into.
It would be interesting.
Whether they need to spray it or not. But
yeah.
Anyway.
I like that. I do just want to say that I got with kind of a bonsai kit that I got when I was younger, and I still have the pots now.
Oh,
in the bonsai kit, there were these little coconut husk pots.
Yes.
Which you could put your little bonsai tree in. And they're really very sturdy.
Yeah.
Like they're not brittle. You can kind of squish them around a bit better than any compost pot.
Yeah.
Sorry, not compost pot.
Plastic pot.
Plastic pot, thank you. And they're really good, and they're good drainage, but at the same time the roots just kind of intermingle with the husk. And it seems like a good environment. And
then do you plant the whole pot in the ground?
Well, that I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I haven't tried it yet, because they are just sitting on the side, but I've always just thought they're quite nice pots to even look at.
Yeah, they are. They're lovely to look at, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as I say, I'll put that on our website.
Great.
Now, Kew Gardens Palm House is going to close for 5 years from 2027.
5 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, do you know who I think about?
Martin,
because of
from Big Cactus Rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Palm House, which he has a Lego version of.
Oh, yes.
The most amazing Lego version Kew Gardens Palm House.
Yeah, so this is lighting. Martin from Big Cactus Rescue, who was on Gardeners World a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And was on Chit Chats, one of our earliest Chit Chats.
Yes.
And he is an absolute legend.
He is a legend.
He's so funny. But it also turns out he's got a love for Lego like Sweet Pea has.
Yes.
And so he's shared some photos of his Lego, and he has a Kew Gardens Palm House Lego set.
Does. Which is so amazing. It's so beautiful and intricate.
And for his dream garden, he chose the Kew Gardens style palm house, didn't he?
Yeah, as the boundary, which is quite amazing.
Well, his entire garden was basically
that. Exactly, in there. So that was really cool. Crikey, 5 years.
Yeah, so it's sad, but they're carrying out a £50 million renovation project.
50
so
million?
It involves moving 1,300 plants, replacing 16,000 panes of glass, and cleaning up hundreds of tons of iron. And one of their plants of concern is a 250-year-old, so that's older than Kew Gardens itself.
Oh my gosh.
Encephalatos altensteinii.
What is that?
Well, it's this palmy plant.
I love how you just looked at me with such... Do not ask me what this is, it's just something.
Well, I don't know my tropical plants, but it's this beautiful palmy plant. It's in a huge pot. It weighs about a ton and it stands 4 meters tall. It's a very, very, very slow growing plant. So, 4 meters tall, it's tall, but not for something that's been growing for 250 years.
Yeah, like if you had a redwood, that would be huge.
Yeah,
for example.
Gosh. So they're nervous about moving that, but very interesting that work's taking place. And finally, in the White House, there's a rose garden that was created 112 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And Donald Trump has paved over it. So
no.
These before and after photos of this really green, tranquil space, a big lawn, a very well-kept lawn, and rose beds all the way around the side, and a path that runs around the periphery as well.
Oh my
rectangular in shape.
Gosh.
And he's completely paved over it, so it's just a concrete space now.
He could at least spray paint it orange or something. I don't
Why?
know.
Do you think that's Donald Trump's
favourite
colour?
Donald Trump should just imagine he loves orange.
I wonder why you imagine that.
I wonder. Oh my God, that is
wouldn't
outrageous.
make things any better, having an orange concrete jungle. Anyway. Interesting.
That is absolutely awful. And actually, I'm going to do a bit of housekeeping on that, because that rose garden, I remember hearing a bit about it. So I'm going to do a little bit of looking up.
Oh, I'd love you to do that.
Yes.
We'll have that on housekeeping for next week.
Cool.
Sweet Pea plant fun facts. You've got your trusty book back, your RHS book.
I was so happy to see it again. I was like, yes, I'm back. I love you so much. I mean, it has the most stunning photos in it. Not photos, actually, kind of drawings and paintings, illustrations.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It is one of the most stunning books I have. Yeah. It's treasured.
What's it called again?
It is called RHS Horticurious by Anne Treenman. I hope I said that correctly. Anyways, so on page 146, we talk about super blooms.
Right.
Now then, this is not where you've got like the most enormous flower or anything. It's where you have the most enormous swathes of flowers. Have you ever seen, I mean, we have seen maybe once or twice, but kind of where whole mountains or clusters of hills are absolutely full to the brim and full of swathes of just flowers?
Well, like daylilies in California.
A bit like that, but like completely like huge ranges of kind of hills and mountains. It's quite amazing. And this is called the super blooms. And it's very difficult for it to actually happen. You have to have perfect conditions for all these flowers to suddenly set seed, to all kind of burst out in colour together. It's very intricate, but it's all natural.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
so no human intervention.
Yeah, no human intervention whatsoever. And it could just be full of any kind of wild flowers. But the soil must be dry enough to avoid invasive grasses. The autumn rainfall must be deep enough to penetrate into the soil and reach the dormant wildflower seeds. So, like poppy flowers go dormant, for example. But it can't penetrate so much as to result in kind of runoff or flash floods, so it can't be just like attack or anything. Then over winter and early spring there must be cloud cover to shield the soil from intense heat or overnight cold. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, all of this is just amazing.
You need this perfect storm of conditions for it to occur.
And as the plants start growing, the wind must not be too strong to kind of thrash them about too much. Mm-hmm. And so this will create these huge swathes of super blooms.
Wow.
Or this kind of this super bloom. And a lot of it happens, there are kind of these desert super blooms in California that happens, full of the Californian poppy, the beautiful orange poppy. And they're estimated to occur about every 10 years, which I think is quite amazing. So apparently every 10 years there's going to be these perfect conditions.
Gosh, I wonder when the next one is.
Anyway, so what happened was in March 2019, around about 50,000 people descended on Walker Canyon near Lake Elsinore in California to see these huge swathes of hills and hills of Californian poppies, and it was absolutely full, and everyone wanted to be seen in these amazing kind of
for selfies.
For selfies for Instagram. There was
the influencers to get their photos in.
Exactly. There was a hashtag Poppypalooza, which going around, and you can see photos of just loads of people, and there was just so much traffic and everything. And so then the hashtag became hashtag Poppy Nightmare.
Oh no,
because it became so awful. But they're quite amazing, so do look them up, because I didn't realise how big the intensity of just having swathes of these flowers everywhere
how beautiful
can be. Yeah.
I'd love to see that in the flesh.
I know.
So that was 2019, so the next one's around 2029. We've just got to hang on in there a few more years.
Yes, exactly.
Brilliant. Thank you for that one, Sweet Pea.
You're very welcome.
A quick animal fun fact.
Yes.
You know echidnas? You know they're these sort of spiny... I think they're monotremes, but they're sort of spiky like a hedgehog. They live in Australia and New Zealand. Funny little snouts.
Oh.
Sort of cross between a hedgehog and a porcupine.
Oh my gosh, sweet.
But native to that hemisphere.
Oh yeah, I feel like you've talked to me about these before.
I've talked to you about echidnas before. They're very sweet. And, well, they have a very interesting penis.
Oh.
So their penis has 4 heads. Isn't that extraordinary? I had no idea about this, and I'm surprised with such a unique fact that this fact just isn't out there or in Christmas crackers, or, you know, that's the sort of fact you want to hear about. They don't use their penis for peeing. They purely use it for mating. So they don't have to worry about, you know, aiming. Because can you imagine if you've got 4 heads and you try to pee? I mean, it's hard enough to get it in the loo.
But I suppose if you're just in the wild, if it goes out 4 different directions.
It's like a sprinkler. But it doesn't, because they don't pee through their penis. But isn't that just so interesting? The world of nature is so unbelievable. We don't, as humans, we don't need to make up drama. There's so much drama already happening out there. And
so much drama.
So much interest. And anyway, I will put more details on our website. I just thought that was an interesting little fun fact. Echidna penises.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be more well known, wouldn't you? Because
also, is plural penises or
peni?
Peni.
I don't know.
I've
never really asked myself.
Now, Sweet Pea, let's move on from penises.
Yes.
I think we should get stuck into this episode.
I think so.
So this is Gardener's World 2025, episode 20 recap.
Off we go.
We're back to Longmeadow this week, and Monty has realised that poor old Topiary Nigel has exploded.
Has completely and utterly exploded. It was rather sweet, actually. It looked like, you know, those huge kind of shaggy dogs, the ones with the kind of mop.
Aren't they Hungarian water dogs?
It's something like that, but they're kind of huge white and they've got kind of this mop hair. It looked like that. It looked like Nigel had become very...
Well, he gave him a trim and he very quickly became very sort of tight and more Nigel-like. So
that is...
He made it look very easy.
And also that shows that it's perfect topiary.
And it's the perfect time to be cutting topiary, apparently. So... Sweet Pea, you've got that stealth topiary, haven't you, in the garden?
A stealth topiary?
Which you've fashioned into a ball, is it?
It's whatever you want it to be. It can be an egg if you want it to be.
It's whatever you want it to be. Well, so you better get down there and chopping.
I should get down there.
Then we look at his espaliered fruits.
Yeah, which are going crazy as well. Really lots of crazy things going on in Monty's garden.
So he said they're more productive on horizontal branch, the fruits are.
Yeah.
But they're always wanting to go vertically. So if you prune them in winter, it'll come back even more vigorously, all those vertical branches and stems. But if you do it now, that restricts the growth.
Yeah, exactly. And he had his horizontal branches already, so he was just snipping off those vertical ones.
And then he was up a ladder to look at his half-standard apple tree. Yeah. Did you get the name?
The Glory of England apple.
Or Farmer's Glory.
Yeah.
And he said he got that originally because it was the biggest apple he could find, a great big cooker.
Yeah, really big one.
As he says, whoppers.
Whoppers. Whopper's a good word, isn't it?
We don't use whoppers enough. I think we should introduce that.
Gosh, it's a whopper.
And he had cut it back hard, and now he has a mass of new shoots, and there really was a lot. So he's opening up the centre of the tree to get ventilation in. Yeah. And he's taking off all the inward growing ones.
And he has to be careful because he did cut a branch off which had some apples growing at the end.
Yeah.
But he said that's just because he wasn't paying attention.
And he said if possible cut back to a spur and then next year you'll get an apple.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we go over to Jamie Butterworth and he's at RHS Bridgewater.
Yeah, absolutely huge. This garden which has been transformed from completely nothing. It was
wasteland.
Just wasteland, really kind of derelict. Areas and
completely overgrown. 154 acres.
I know. Huge.
Yeah.
Really, really big. And the garden was so pristine. 15.
But not surprising, because what did he say? They've got 30 full-time gardeners, 10 apprentices and 100 volunteers.
Yeah, so you can imagine that it's going to be in tip-top shape.
Ours would be as well.
Ours would be.
With that.
Yeah, it would. Anyway, so he was showing us through some of the really beautiful areas. There was the Western Wall Garden with lots of kind of gravel dry planting, I think, in that spot.
And yeah, Jamie described it as one of the nicest gravel gardens he's ever seen.
Yeah.
He? Which curator Marcus liked very much. He
did.
Said, keep going, don't stop.
Yeah, that was funny.
But there were some beautiful plants in there. Did you get any of the names?
Yeah, so there was this asphodeline, very pretty, kind of yellowy coloured, and then a Dianthus carthusianorum. I hope I said that correctly. Quite difficult one to say. And these were really pretty plants. I really like the Dianthus, actually. It had these beautiful pink head, slightly kind of zigzaggedy edge to them, if you know what I mean. So yeah, gorgeous. And there was some verbascums, some steepers in there. There was a steeper Lesiguiana, which the curator hadn't had before, and in this border was looking really perfect in its spot with kind of the featheriness, and gave a very dry garden feel to it.
Yeah. And Marcus said that it was going gangbusters, which I've never heard that term.
What does that mean?
I think just going for it.
Gangbusters.
They'd had a really great growing season.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that about this year.
Yeah, it is a good year because it's been so warm and just sun and everything.
It's been perfect for this Mediterranean vibe, hasn't it?
Yeah.
This gravel garden.
Absolutely. And then they went to the Chinese streamside garden, which I think was a very different look. I liked the very different kind of juxtaposition between that proper dry gravel garden, the sun beating down on it, and then this perfect Chinese streamside garden, which I like how it all revolved around the stream.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a garden in itself and then there happened to be a stream in it. It was all around the stream, which I thought was really, really beautiful. And it had huge trees in the background, aces and heptacodium, which is something I didn't know about. It's quite a pretty plant. It's also called seven sunflower.
Oh, right.
And it's kind of the Chinese translation, meaning that there are kind of 7 flowers per cluster on the kind of stem, if you see what I mean.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then by the water's edge there were more regersias and hostas and primulas.
Yeah, more damp-loving plants.
Yeah.
I really liked the contrast between the two as well. I really, really, really love gravel gardens.
I think
love
gravel
they look
garden.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And whilst you were talking, I was thinking, what do I prefer? Do I prefer that or the more lush green of the Chinese garden?
Yeah, that's a good
but
point.
I'd like both. This is so I wouldn't be able to say. So what a luxury to be able to just have both in your garden.
Yeah.
You don't have to choose. That would be my dream.
Yeah.
We talk about garden rooms, but you're restricted still by your location. But if you were able to, I don't know, tweak the elements so that you could have your very dry Mediterranean gravel garden next to then your lush greenness, I would really enjoy that.
Because also, thinking about that as you're chatting, I was thinking, which one makes me calmer? Because obviously you're listening to water trickling, it's a very calm.
Surely the green one makes calmer.
Because green also is a very pleasing colour. It's kind of scientifically proven that you look at green and you're immediately kind of chill.
I think with a gravel garden, it's more, I imagine always just it's a place and space that I walk through and enjoy, not somewhere where I settle down and chill. Yeah, whereas a green garden with water, the lushness around me, I imagine hearing more birds. I can imagine a spot there to sit down in. But I couldn't imagine so much sitting in a gravel garden.
Yeah, I was thinking more kind of, I would have a parasol, definitely. I would want to sit in the shade with a nice...
which one?
In the dry garden, sorry. And with a sun lounger and a drink, really nice ice cold drink and a book. Yeah. And I would be there and kind of almost listen to, I don't know, cicadas or the kind of Mediterranean
that's a nice
insects in the background.
Scorchio though.
Yeah, exactly, Scorchio. And then I'd really like to go to the watery bit to really just not be reading anything and just kind of chill. Yeah. And as Hobbsy, because Hobbsy seems to have become northern recently, be in love with her chakras.
Well, we do imagine her. We picked her up from the dog sitter and we felt she was telling us that all our chakras were misaligned.
I don't know why.
Sweet pea, I need you to realign my chakras. If I lie like this, if you could just realign.
But for some reason I can see Hobbs just kind of zen there going, I like my chakras.
In the Chinese garden.
In the Chinese garden.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd possibly be going more towards the green, shady area.
I think I would be. Then we meet garden manager Tracy.
Yeah.
She plays a key role in the transformation of the garden.
Yeah.
And she loves all the people taking photos and putting them on all the social pages, she said.
Yeah.
And she says how she had originally intended it to be bright and vibrant and full of clashing colours. And she thinks that she achieved that, and it looked like it, didn't it?
It was perfect. I loved it.
And she said the principle of when you're having clashing colours is that you make sure the colours are equally bright.
Because you don't want one to look kind of
no, you don't want
pathetic,
a pastel, do you, next to
it.
A strong colour.
Yeah.
And then we see that they've got a new project on the go for the Yangtze Scholars Garden.
Yes, and I did look up kind of the Yangzhou area.
Yangzhou, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if that's not correct.
No, you're right, that's what they say.
But I did look up some kind of gardens in that area, and I hope this is correct, because I saw some utterly stunning gardens, and with what she said, using this corridor, going contouring around this huge kind of water area, and I thought, I do like the idea of having a corridor where you can kind of walk through it. An open corridor I quite like, kind of just a railing or something and just walking along, almost decking, but it being sheltered, and then just having this beautiful kind of pool of water.
Right.
I think that would be very nice. And then there were other kind of little outbuildings around it. I think it's a very pretty way of having a garden.
Yeah, she said they were going to have a collection of 3 buildings with that courtyard.
Yep.
Garden. Well, the project to build Bridgewater cost $35 million, but they hope to generate $13.2 million a year by 2030.
Really? Wow.
So it'll bring a lot of people to the area, or is bringing a lot of people to the area, and generating some good revenue.
Yeah.
It was built on the former grounds of Worsley Newhall, the estate once owned by the Earl of Ellesmere, which was itself home to a glorious formal landscape garden. Before it then fell into disrepair.
Oh, yeah.
And it was finally demolished by a scrap merchant who had bought it for just £2,500.
That is
sad. Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
So that was kind of the end of this amazing garden.
Yeah.
And then in subsequent years, parts of the grounds have been used as a garden centre. There was a scout camp and a rifle range. Really quite unrelated to gardening and gardens. So
very
it's
different
a fantastic project.
I know.
What can you imagine project managing something that size?
Oh my gosh.
And then the reward of seeing it as it is today.
Yeah.
Because those drone shots, it looked absolutely stunning.
There wasn't anything out of place in my eye.
I would love to visit there.
I would love to visit there as well.
Monty's at his 4 raised beds that he created for cut flowers.
Yeah.
And they're looking absolutely packed, especially the cornflower and Nigella one.
Yeah, completely packed. But also he's had to put in his homemade kind of gates,
those hurdle things.
The hurdle things, exactly. And he had to put them in because did you see how long and tall the cornflowers were?
Yeah, they were huge. Do you think that's because the soil was too fertile?
I don't know, maybe. But he did talk about how gritty and free draining it is.
Yeah.
Which is meant to just be really, really good. It means that all the kind of nutrients doesn't stay there.
Yeah.
I would think.
Just on those hurdles,
yeah.
That reminds me, we saw those at the entrance when you go into Great Dixter.
Yeah.
There was someone sitting there making them, and he was using with 2 hands some kind of, almost like he was shaving the wood.
Yes.
And then all the wood shavings we saw used a lot on the paths, didn't we? Especially around the veg garden.
Which is really, really nice and really comfortable to walk on.
Really lovely to walk on.
There are a lot of times actually I remember kind of walking around like I was kind of springing.
Yeah.
Kind of
it was
really
very springy.
Boing. Yeah, it was really, really nice. And I do really like the hurdles. But for me, this is
I haven't got time to make those.
No. But the whole thing about the cornflowers, unfortunately, this is why I do not like cornflowers. Because even when you do stake them up, they do just still look very messy. They're not the prettiest plant.
I like them when they're in amongst the grass. So we had some that self-seeded on our daffodil bank. And when they're in amongst the grass, and the grass is as tall as the cornflowers.
Yeah.
I love that look. It's a meadowy feel, isn't it?
And also they've got very little nutrients because obviously the grass is taking as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so that is a good point. Okay, that's a very, very good point.
Why, thank you, Sweet Pea.
Because they are really, really beautiful. And we had some really deep purple ones, didn't we?
We did, and we had hardly any this year.
We did.
Where did they all go?
Yeah, they must have not self-seeded enough last year.
Yeah, too much grass maybe.
But I like that. I like it in grass. That's a good point. I like that a lot.
And then he takes this wonderful load of compost over to his incredible compost station, which I'm still jealous of. And it was quite funny because it was a lot of sort of rough work going on, and then Gardener's World edited in a whole load of some of his more pristine looking flowers whilst he's wheeling his wheelbarrow around. Did you see that? So you'd get a lovely shot of a dahlia.
Yes.
And all these bright, pristine looking ones. Just to remind us that the rest of his garden's still looking
is absolutely
very
perfect.
Tidy.
Exactly. And he's putting it into the shredding bay, which then goes onto the first bay of the compost, which then gets turned, and then he gets this beautiful compost afterwards, which he then sieved.
Beautiful compost that he sieved. And then he takes it back to the bed. He's definitely not an advocate of the no dig, is he? Because he said, I'm not really digging, I'm just turning the soil up. And he was digging the bed.
That was pretty much digging the bed. Yeah, unfortunately it is. And so then he kind of mixed it in, the compost into the kind of the top bit, just to kind of... A thin layer, exactly. He said it didn't need much because the nutrients just goes back in.
It's kind of like when you make your Ribena. You don't need a lot of Ribena.
It's the concentrate.
Because that then diffuses into the water that you add. So this is his concentrate of bacteria and fungus and those lovely nematodes.
Exactly. And so he was going to be sowing the seeds of scabious, Fata Morgana, a nice creamy, yellowy coloured one, then Amimajus, Amivis naga, and wild carrot.
And then we finally we get to see Cambridge Windmill.
Which we have been talking about for the past few weeks. Because it hasn't been on. Now it is on.
Now it's on. Impington Mill.
Yes.
And we have Steve, a professional inventor. I mean, what a great job title. And his job is to restore the mill back to its working condition.
Which is looking lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's about 2 to 3 years off it being fully restored.
I know, that's amazing.
And then Pippa's job is to bring the garden back to life.
Yeah, which I would say that's perfect teamwork because you've got two people making it look lovely, really pristine, and I'd say that it looked amazing from the videos that we got.
Incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything about it, both the windmill and the garden, it all was just wonderful.
And it linked together really nicely with Pippa's planting and also having the lawn that kind of swirled round. It wasn't like a hard lawn.
No, I really liked that. Yeah. How she did the beds. And they moved there in 1999 and the garden was hugely overgrown apparently.
Yeah, so she had to really think about the planting, how it was going to work with the windmill, because the windmill seemed to have kind of a more grey base than kind of creamy white. And I'd say the planting worked with that actually. It brought out certain shades because in her planting she did one border especially, which was one of her first ones, as she said, was kind of purples and blues and with a kind of background of white. And that perfectly went with then the kind of grey blue and the white of the windmill.
She said with that bed that a mistake she made was to take the planting all the way back.
Yeah.
It was too dark and
too shady.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never thought about where you're meant to take your border to.
No.
And if so, what do you do with that back bit?
Well, I imagine you just plant shady stuff in there.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Or you meant to just have a really thick hedge.
Yeah. And
not such a big border if it's kind of going into kind of woodlandy like style. I don't know.
Take it if we had shady areas.
Yeah, if we had shady areas.
One day we might, with all the trees we planted.
That would be really nice.
It's a long way off. I'd love to have a shady area. I think you could have like a bluebell wood in there.
Oh.
You could, obviously, all your hostas.
Yeah. I would just use it as kind of a more little kind of a work path. So you can just get to the back of the bed.
Really sort of wood mulchy.
Yeah, really soft on the feet so you're all springy again.
Like we were saying, Great Dixter with the wood shavings.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. So that would be quite nice. And then there was another bank that she had created, and this was on a kind of concretey, gravelly, really poor soil. area because of all of the work they had done. And so she thought, well, perfect, herb bed, which is always great, especially for Mediterranean herbs. So thyme, mint, chives, bronze fennel, wild opium poppies as well.
And I don't think she had the mint in pots, did she? That was just in the ground.
Yeah, I didn't see it in pots.
It was quite a close up of the mint, so we didn't get to
good
see
point.
the bottom bit of it. I don't think.
And also,
be interested to know what she's done there.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know if this would work. Do you think that by submerging a huge plastic pot in said ground would then contain the roots, or do you think they would come out of the holes at the bottom?
I think they'd come out of the holes, because that's what happened with our little planter. So I built the planter on the side of the veg bed.
Okay, yeah.
And then we put it in there, and the roots are coming up and under.
Yeah. Okay, thinking about it, that was a stupid idea.
And then it was really interesting because Steve showed us the mill, and he explained how he reckons the farmers would have been able to mill approximately 150 tonnes of grain per year.
Lot? Yeah.
So these windmills, they're not just a pretty face. They're
not just a pretty face.
They have a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Which I never really think about. Just think, pretty.
Pretty. Yeah, because they are this one was especially beautiful.
Yeah.
And my favourite thing was how he talked about one of his first inventions didn't work, and
perpetual motion machine
and it didn't work.
Has anyone created a perpetual motion machine that works? I don't know.
Who knows? But I really, really like that, because it's kind of like, I'm going to start here, and then he's now doing...
Didn't put him off.
No, didn't put him off. And now he has, one, a beautiful windmill that he has restored, and two, the most amazing compost area.
Well, now...
Yes.
Let's talk about his compost area.
Yes.
So he's got a mechanical compost system.
I think it was like 12 bays. What would you call them? Like kind of sacks?
Well,
pots,
bays. I would call them compost bays. So they seem to be on metal frames, and it seemed to be basically a big plastic bag.
Yes.
And then you put your compost in one, and then very easy to turn. You just lift a lever, plonk it in the next one.
Yeah.
Plonk that in the next one, right the way to the end.
Yeah.
And then tip the other one out onto a piece of tarpaulin, it looked like, and then he said you drag that off to wherever you need it.
Yes.
What a fantastic system.
Isn't that so cool?
Absolutely brilliant. Can you imagine how exciting that would be?
Coming up with that idea.
The different stages as well. So you've got 12, if we think it's 12 stages. The very, very hot one at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, which you put his hand in, and I was like, oh, crikey, that's going to be scorching.
All sorts of bits and pieces in that, ending up with the nice black stuff at the end.
I know. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
Loved that. That was my favourite thing about the garden.
It was a perfect invention.
Yeah.
I really, really liked that.
And then at the end, Steve and Pippa are sitting in a gorgeous little seating area with a fountain, which I assume Steve invented.
Yes. It wouldn't be so fun to have Steve, who would just be able to invent all these amazing things which no one else would have.
It would make me so happy to have Steve live with us.
Yeah.
It really would.
Yeah. It would be so, so lovely.
He's not dissimilar to your granddad, though. Your granddad will always find ways of making things work and creating unusual inventions, really, and never that aesthetically pleasing.
No. Oh my gosh, I remember one time, I don't know why this reminds me, because he was talking about the kind of pulley system up in the windmill to get the grains up, and I remember one time my granddad, in the kind of big barn that he had, which was just full of knickknacks and all sorts, and he had this hook, and he said, right, I'm going to show you how we use a pulley system. He said, I'm going to be able to lift you with one, just by pulling on one hand on this chain. And so he put this wooden seat down for me. I was probably about 6, 7 maybe. And I remember he was pulling me up, and then...
Well, up to the ceiling of that huge tractor barn.
Luckily not all the way up, because then I have no idea what he did, but his pulley system stopped working, and I just went shooting back down.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Why is this the first time? Did you have a pact with him? Did you both agree not to tell Mummy? I think
we've had a lot of pacts about not to tell Mummy about stuff.
I can absolutely imagine that conversation occurred. We'll just keep this between ourselves, shall we, Sweet Pea?
I was only about maybe 50 centimetres off the ground, but it still was a clunk down. He was like, oops, sorry, wrong pulley. Because, there are a few kind of pulley chains.
Various ropes
and he was like, oops.
Oh my gosh,
it was so
granddad.
funny. Yeah, and I remember always thinking there are all these kind of weird and wonderful things that he taught me.
He was always up to something. He created a zip line across the garden for you, which needed tweaking because first it went very, very slowly.
It did. And I was always the test pilot. And so I remember all these ones, and we had to get it the right height because one time I just scooted along the grass and just had a really dirty butt at the end of it. So we had to try all these different things, and then one time you'd go really fast towards the end. You're like, oh my gosh, I need like a pad just to go splat. At the end. So we had all sorts.
A lot of lovely memories.
A lot of fun.
Well, as I was saying, at the end, Steve and Pippa were sitting in those chairs, and Steve explained that he'd recently been diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh my gosh,
and
this was so sad.
Made the segment take a severe turn.
Yeah.
He said he didn't know if he had 2 months or 2 years. He wasn't sure. And when you think of that in light of how long he predicted he had left for completing the reno of the windmill, just very sad. And you saw Pippa well up. She said, I think he does me too much good. And he said, no, not possible. And it was a very heartbreaking moment, really. And he had this very positive attitude of, well, this is something else I now need to combat and
you kind of
find
have
a solution to. And
it was really, really sad because he was just this gorgeous man, and they were gorgeous together.
They were both gorgeous.
They were this beautiful team that worked perfectly. They both had their little ideas. They both kind of took the mickey out of each other.
Yeah.
But you could see this kind of eternal love, and it was just so sweet.
They were holding hands at the beginning. Yeah. Busy, productive people. I wish them all the best. I really hope that he is able to combat it somehow.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of the garden, they are open through the NGS.
Oh, yeah.
And they welcome visitors, very much so.
Brilliant.
They have a website, which I'll put a link to on our website. You can go not just through the NGS, but also by appointment. They very much saying, come visit, come see.
Yeah.
And you'll get to see the windmill and you get to look around the garden.
Lovely.
I think it would be a fascinating visit. You can imagine Steve just waxing lyrical about all the bits and bobs he's done and how this works and that works.
I would love that.
If you are planning on visiting, they do make the point on their website.
Yeah.
High heel shoes are not suitable. So kick off your stilettos, sweet pea. They're no good here. Monty's in his damp garden, which is usually prone to flooding, but it's been very dry this year.
It has.
And his pond's dropped by 2 foot.
I know, which is good to know.
Yeah, it's good to know because it's reassuring because ours has dropped a lot.
Yeah, it has dropped.
But also he says that that's the lowest he's ever seen it.
Crikey. Yeah, ours has dropped quite a bit, and we're really worried that we need to fill it up with watering cans. Just hoping there's going to be some rain or something to kind of really fill it up.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But then we head over to Rekha in her garden in Derbyshire.
With all of her vegetable plants, which are doing absolutely amazing. She has beautiful beans, squash and kale, and the black currants she's really, really happy with.
Yeah.
I've never seen such beautiful black currants. And also she says how she prunes the whole stem when harvesting, makes it easier and also really good for the plant.
Yeah.
So that's a good top tip to have.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. She's then sowing some sweet Florence fennel, 3 seeds per hole. Kind of usual thing of making sure the best one comes out and looks good.
I love all her techniques.
Yeah. And also, did you see she has this kind of green plastic dibber to make the holes? That's exactly the same one as I have.
Right.
Very happy to be using the same one as Rekha.
Do you use it?
Yes.
Great.
It's really useful.
She says about the fennel how it doesn't like a big swing in temperature, otherwise it'll bolt, so it's quite a fussy plant.
I don't know how good it would be here because we've had fluctuating all sorts.
And also, we can't really deal with higher maintenance plants.
No.
Everything has to be as low maintenance as possible.
Yeah, it has got to be. Then she went over to her potatoes. She said the kind of later ones, the main crop, aren't quite ready to harvest, but her early potatoes are looking amazing. I think it's called Sapo Una.
Right.
Her variety.
Sapo Una, yeah. And then when she's lifted all her potatoes, the soil that's left behind, she says, is perfect for leeks.
Yeah, because it's really kind of soft and grainy.
Well, so she cleared the soil, dug it over, raked it over, tampered it down, watered it.
Yeah.
And she watered it so that when then she makes the holes, the soil doesn't all fall in on itself.
Yes, very important.
And her holes are, did you get this?
15 centimetres deep and 50 centimetres apart.
Yeah.
So she has her perfect little dibber, and she was putting in leek musselburgh into there, and then just pops the plant in, but snips off the roots.
Yes.
Because otherwise the roots go up on themselves.
Well, I've always wondered this, because I've put little plantlets in like that.
Yeah.
And haven't snipped off the roots, and they've all come up, and I've just thought, oh, it must be all right, because no one ever talks about doing anything special. Sometimes I've tried to twizzle it in.
Thank you.
So you spin it so the roots go down first.
But that's my technique.
Oh, is that your technique?
Did I not come up with that?
Oh, did you? I thought the sweepy
oh,
technique.
I could have sworn that was my technique. I was so proud of myself. I was like, yes, I have a technique. Because that was the little twisty technique, because it really helps the roots kind of spin and then they kind of plop down.
Are you going to continue using that, or are you going to follow Alla Rekha and chop off the roots?
I know, I'm very happy with my technique.
Oh, okay.
Because it works very well and makes it really easy. You just go spin in.
You're not even going to be here to do any of that. It's going to be me, so I'm going to be chopping off the roots. You're not happy about that?
No, can you not tell my face? I'm not happy about that. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know what you're going to do.
Because that is a big part of my life. And it's a big, happy part of my life.
Oh, sweet pea. We're going to get you so many plants for your apartment, you won't be able to move.
It's going to be a jungle.
Yeah.
But because of my really thick windowsills, which is like the main thing I was really happy about, they're kind of big windows, because our thing when we looked at round places was, is there lots of kind of natural sunlight? The rest of it can be really dodgy.
Yeah.
But if there's big windows and lots of sunlight coming in, then that's great. And this place happened to have big windows.
Yeah.
And then thick, really deep windowsills.
Really big, deep windowsills. Also, I'm looking at these shelves that you can sucker onto the windows, sort of clear plastic shelves, so you could put some plants on the windows as well, because they are such vast windows.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, back to Rekha.
Yeah, back to Rekha.
I like this technique where she puts loads of water in the hole after she's planted it and allows the soil then to sort of come up there rather than filling in with soil. And that prevents you from getting grits and bits of dirt in your leek plant.
Very nice.
So it's a good way of doing it.
I like that, and it's kind of less compact, and it's like, oh, no space down here.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. So then she was harvesting some other things just to create the perfect dish. So it was harvesting some summer cabbage, some onions called Paris silver skin, quite young, so it's kind of a nice sweeter
spring onion.
Spring onion for potato salad that she was making.
Yummy.
And then she was making a sumba, which had chilies, some cumin I think was in there. She had then the cabbage. It looked really nice. It was kind of like a stir fry-ish thing.
Mustard seeds as well, and coriander all went in.
Yeah, all of that. It looked really
so good,
yummy.
didn't it? Alongside then that potato salad that you mentioned.
Yes, and then she was making a blackcurrant sponge.
But in that potato salad, she put in those spring onions and also some homemade pickled beetroot, which would be nice to have that sharpness with it.
Yes, that is lovely.
Well, you were just in a hurry to get onto the sweet bit, which is the blackcurrant sponge.
Yeah. I don't know whether I'd want to use the blackcurrants for cordial or not.
Which she also makes, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does also make. She does
jams,
use it. Yeah.
Cordials.
You can do a lot with it. And we are realising that we can do more things than just kind of crumbles and sponges.
Because also, we don't like crumbles.
No.
So we only make them when we have people come for dinner who do like crumbles.
Yeah, exactly. Then
we just endure them.
Yeah, we go, it's really nice. Anyways, I thought it was really nice that she's creating all these really lovely dishes. It's quite a nice little segment because
I really love it.
I personally love to cook with all of these things because I really enjoy cooking, and I love trying new things and not having a recipe next to me, but going, this might taste nice with this, and trying it together.
Well, on all our chit chats, that's a question you always ask when we talk about the 5 edibles.
Yeah,
you always say, and are you a good cook, or have you got any good recipes? Or
yeah, because I'm always interested to see what other people do with their
great questions. I'd like to know as well.
And I must say that our guests come up with have some of the most amazing recipes.
We've had some fantastic ones,
which we now make. Yep. And I wouldn't live without it, and I don't know how I did live without it before.
Exactly.
So I'm really happy, and obviously I will be sharing some more recipes that I'll be doing with our veg over the next 2 weeks, because that's all I have left.
Oh my goodness me.
Yes.
Let's not think about it.
No, not think about it.
Ned's leaning up against Monty having a cuddle.
Yeah, very sweet.
And then Monty says the secret to growing your own is to grow what you like to eat.
Yes.
Which, of course, is a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer, but at the same time, I think it's quite fun to experiment
with
one or two things.
That as well, but also, despite it being a no-brainer, it didn't stop us from growing all sorts of things that we weren't that interested in eating.
Yeah.
When we first started.
At first, exactly.
But now it's what we like to eat.
Yeah.
And also what grows well. There's no point flogging a dead horse trying to grow veg that doesn't actually grow in your garden.
Yeah, that is a very, very good point.
So Monty's looking at his dual garden and grass borders.
Yeah, just saying how the grass borders, nothing much happens. He doesn't really do
just
much
leaves
to
them
them.
to their own devices.
Yeah, and they look really stunning. It kind of all morphs into one.
Yeah.
And there isn't like a huge abundance of colour, but it's kind of softer.
Plenty for me, though.
Yeah, plenty for me as well.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
But then, I mean, you do go to the dual garden, which he says intense kind of manipulation of everything, looking after everything, taking things out, putting things in constantly, which for me just sounds far too much over the top.
It does look beautiful, and
I
I would love to have that, but I haven't got the time or inclination to be popping things in, taking things out, moving.
All like that much as well.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that maybe once or twice a year just to kind of keep a bit of colour, but if you're doing it every week, that for
too
me,
much.
Sorry mate, does not work.
But that's what Monty does.
It does, yeah. And it looks amazing.
And it looks amazing, and we get to see it.
Yeah.
And he does it for a programme, so why not?
Exactly.
He has that everlasting problem of trying to keep white plants out of his dual garden. He and his wife set themselves that rule.
Yeah.
No pastels, no whites.
I
know.
As
soon as they have got any like that, they need to be whipped out.
Yeah, so he had these hydrangeas which he was going to plant in there called Whims Red because they're really deep red colour, amazing plants.
In the autumn?
In the autumn though, because at this time of year they are kind of a creamy, pale pastel, maybe possibly pinky tone.
Yeah, well they start white, don't they, and then they go more blushy.
I know.
As the season goes on.
It's quite amazing. I
Gorgeous.
I really like it.
Doesn't work for in there.
No, it doesn't. It would be quite fun to create to create a garden which had flowers which would change colour altogether. So you would have a garden which is kind of all pastels and whites, and then they suddenly all go deep, dark colours in the autumn. Wouldn't that be fun? It's the ever-changing garden.
Ever-changing.
That would be really, really cool. So anyways, he had to move these hydrangeas to the orchard, where there are a whole load of other hydrangeas, the quercufolias, the annabelles, and he was putting them in there because he said they would look far better here.
Yeah, good plan.
Yep.
Then we go to your gardens, and this is with Alla, clematis queen.
Yes.
In the Ukraine.
In the war zone.
Yes, so she explains how she's gardening in a war zone in the heart of Kharkiv, Ukraine. She says very calmly, the front line is very close by, and gardening in a war zone is a big challenge.
Which
just blows your mind, doesn't it? She said you've got missiles, drones and glide bomb attacks, and they're all coming very close, and they're causing blackouts, and there's no heating often, no water supply often.
Yeah.
And still there's Alla tending to her beautiful, beautiful garden.
I know, and there are points where it's so dangerous to go outside.
Yeah, when they get alerts, you can't go outside.
And somehow her garden is looking absolutely stunning and perfect. And the clematis, which are in there.
Well, her clematis, I saw several that I didn't even know existed.
No, I did not know anything about the bell-shaped varieties. I didn't know they existed. I just thought you had variations of kind of colours of the kind of just the flat,
starry
ones. So she had loads of these bell shapes in all different colours, some with kind of limey green and pink, some kind of deep purples, she had all sorts of different ones. So she had the Texanses, the Sonnet, Barkland Beauty and the Glaucophylla, and really beautiful and in perfect condition as well.
Yeah.
So she somehow...
They were immaculate.
Yeah, she's somehow creating such a little haven in such a scary environment, which is quite incredible, isn't it?
Doesn't it make you it makes me want to wind my neck in when I'm complaining about all the challenges of our garden.
Yeah.
And then you realise, actually, we're all right.
And also, what is a garden there for? It's for that. It's for creating that solace. It's creating that space where she can try and forget what's going on around her as much as possible. That is a true garden, I think.
Amazing.
And she says how growing things from seeds is like having babies and
your own child.
Your own child. And so she was growing from seed this clematis vitacella, and it's now this huge bush.
It's huge.
Amazing.
And full of colour.
I know.
I mean, just so full of colour.
Yeah.
The flowers were packed together, really vibrant purple.
I know. And then she says about her photography at the end. And
so
that
second hobby
is also perfect. Like the photos that she had were
really
stunning.
Yeah.
I thought it was a beautiful garden, and I completely understood the kind of fact that it was her solace and her little paradise.
And she says that at the end, if she's too depressed, she says, don't think about the war, think about the flowers.
Yeah.
Incredible. Just unimaginable, and really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
I can't imagine it even slightly.
Well, her name is Alla Olkhovska, and she is a rare seed producer and photographer. And that segment was filmed at Linden Grove Gardens, which was initially created by her great-grandfather, and now Alla and her husband tend to it and look after it. She has a website for Linden Grove Gardens, and that is where you can order her seeds.
Really?
And she sends those out internationally, so you can get hold of, all those clematis that we saw. You can get the seeds for those bell clematis, for example.
Really?
And
that's amazing.
She takes all the photos for them on her website, so you can see the plant growing in her garden, and then that's what you'll get the seed from.
Fantastic.
Yes, but she's also been in all sorts of publications, media publications. So she's been in the New York Times, Der Spiegel, which is a German publication, and also in Gardens Illustrated.
Oh, yeah.
And in Gardens Illustrated, she was part of an article called Discover Our 2024 Horticultural Heroes, 22 Extraordinary People Making a Difference in Gardening.
Wow.
Yeah, so quite an accolade.
Yes, absolutely.
Monty's in his potting shed and he's sowing seeds. He says when you hit August, you're running out of light, which is the key thing with anything that's growing, and especially with seeds. So you want to start planning your seeds for autumn and winter now.
Sure do.
Oh dear.
Yes.
So which plants was he doing?
He was sowing the seeds for giant winter spinach, cabbage, greyhound, collards and kohlrabi.
So he sows into seed trays, he presses it down, then he covers with vermiculite or a bit of compost, tampers lightly again, labels them, then into a tray of water, and then onto a windowsill.
Exactly.
Then he'll be planting those out mid-September and harvesting in October, November.
Yeah.
Then we're on to jobs for the weekend.
Yes.
Cut wildflower meadows, deadhead buddleia, collect seeds.
Cut buddleia is a very good point. I need to do ours.
Gone enormous.
It has gone enormous.
That's one of the self-seeders that we took, that self-seeded in a pot.
Yeah.
You nurtured.
Yeah.
And is now the biggest monster.
It's amazing. It's rather pretty because it's a very slightly different shade, pinky purple, to the other one just next to it. So it's quite nice.
It is pretty. It just needs to be kept in check, doesn't it?
Yeah, I am going to be really hard cutting it back.
So your favourite plant?
Was the dianthus, actually, that Jamie was talking about.
Oh, yes.
Really pretty pink with its little zigzaggy edge. Loved it.
Okay.
Very pretty. What was yours?
Mine was the clematis, the bell clematis.
Oh my gosh.
Any of the bell clematis from Alla's garden. I also like that clematis vitacella.
Yeah.
Thought that was stunning. So any of those really, but the bell were really
the bells were quite
unusual.
Extraordinary.
Yeah. And not like anything I'd seen before.
Yeah, very true.
And your top takeaway?
Well, was also from Alla's garden, because it was just the idea of creating a solace and understanding that that is your special little place.
Despite a war raging around you.
A war or anything bad that's going on around you. Just have a garden and it will make you see the light.
Well, that was a lot deeper than mine, because mine was Steve's mechanical compost station.
Which is also just as important and just as awesome.
Yeah. But just hearing you say that makes me think, how are you going to survive with your windowsills? You're just going to have to come back home a lot.
Yeah, I'll be absolutely fine.
So next week, it'll be episode 21. Monty is cutting back in the cottage garden to make room for annuals, harvesting tomatoes and taking sage cuttings in the herb garden. Joe Swift visits a historic allotment site in Nottingham, which has been brought back to life and transformed into an oasis for growers and nature lovers alike.
Ooh.
At her garden in Devon, Carol Klein puts together some inspirational late summer plant combinations.
Oh, yes.
Using colours and form to stunning effect.
Yep, finishing off the series.
Yep. There's a landscape architect who has taken his love of plants into every nook and cranny of his home, plus a designer whose gardens are as edible as they are beautiful.
Very nice. Looking forward to that.
So, if you want to get in touch, here's how.
If you have any questions, feedback or comments, you can get in touch with us on our contact page at notjustagarden.co.uk or via our email, which is notjustagarden@outlook.com, or you can even find us on Facebook or Instagram and come visit us there and hit the follow button. And if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world if you could post a 5-star review. It really helps our podcast climb up the pile. If you didn't enjoy it, bigger polls from us, and please don't. For more Sweet Pea and Bear content, including videos, blogs, guest garden lists, early access to episodes, podcast outtakes, which are great, and community chats, come join us on our Patreon. You can find a link on our website.
Righty-ho, Sweet Pea, that's us for this week.
It is, and of course we'll be putting links in the kind of podcast description and on our website, so go there to find any stuff that we've chatted about.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll be trying to put photos of the dishes that I've been making on the Instagram as well.
Put those on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
And I will get Great Dixter and Sunny House Gardens in at
Yes.
some point. Sometime soon. There's also a poem that I was going to put on from a previous episode, but I haven't got around to it.
Crikey.
I promise those will go on.
Yes, we do.
But thank you so much for listening, and we shall see you next week.
We sure will.
Bye bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mummy Bear.